Devin with Dr. Garage here. It's December and it's snowing, so I decided let's go into the freezing cold garage because it's the off season and work on the drift car. So this is what I've been working on lately. This is the rear axle for my AE86 right there. This is a BEAMS powered AE86 that I've been building for a really long time. 6 years if you watch my old video, my last video. Anyway, so this is my drift off seasons video blog number 2. So I figure I'd talk some technical information a little bit. We'll talk about rear axles, live rear axles in Corollas, or really any application. So this one behind me, let me see if I can get out of the way. There we go. It's actually out of a Volvo. So Volvos, the old 240s and 740s were rear-wheel drive up until like the early 90s-ish. Yeah. Some of them were even turbocharged. So the rear axles out of these actually like decent for Corollas. A lot of people, for whatever reason, decide not to use them because, well, they're Volvos and nobody really knows anything about them or whatever. So I used one anyway because I've got some friends that are turbo brickers, which are the Volvo enthusiasts. Anyway, so a little bit about this rear end. There's a couple of different options that came out of Volvos. There's like the Dana 30 base differential, which is like the same one that came out of the front of a Jeep Cherokee, so same differential, a little bit different. The gears are cut a little bit differently, so that way they're for standard rotation instead of reverse rotation. Some of the Jeep ones were reverse rotation anyway. You can get them in a standard rotation as well. They're like high pinion versus low pinion and a bunch of stuff. I went and I looked in the Dana catalog and I found the ones that fit for a Volvo as well as for a Jeep. And so there's a ton of different gearing options. I mean, you can get like anywhere from like a 3.12, like all the way up to like a 477 or something crazy like that. But the axle that I have is the other one, so the stronger rear end. So there's the Dana 30 based one, and or the Dana 30 Volvo rear end, and then there's also the 1031, 1041 that came out of a 740 or a wagon, or I think any later model ones. So the great thing is that it's stronger, and the reason why it's stronger is the ring gear is a different size. So it's very it's pretty much based on the Dana 30, but it's if they made the ring gear half an inch long or half an inch bigger. So a Dana 30 is like 7¼ inch ring gear, I think, and the Volvo 1031 1041 is actually a 7¾ So that's great. It means it's a bigger gear. The pinion is bigger too, so it means it's got a bigger contact patch, which is stronger. It's got beefy axles and everything. But the problem with it is that there are like no gearing options available other than what came from Volvo. So it's kind of a pain to get them. You have to buy them brand new for like $700, or you find them used somewhere. So that's what I did. I found a 4.1 gear set used on eBay. This was originally 373. I think that they came in like a 354 or 373 and the 4.1. The 373 was just too tall for me. It's not bad, but the 4.1 should be much better. So the reason why I did the Volvo rear end was because all these people, they buy all these Corolla guys, I should say, buy these old clapped out rear ends out of a GTS Corolla or like a Celica Supra or something, which are great, but the problem is people want stupid amounts of money for it. They want like $700 for a rear end that's whines, it makes noise, it's clapped out, it's loose, whatever. The LSD needs a rebuild or something like that. So this rear end here, hang on, let me switch the camera around, right? This came out of a junkyard. I spent a little bit more money to have somebody else pull it and ship it to me because I was being a pansy, didn't feel like doing it myself. So it was like $200, right? And then there's also, I spent another $200 on mounts, which I bought these from Excessive Manufacturing. So they've got pretty much like built-in traction brackets into the lower mounts. They've got an additional mounting point in the upper mount, so that way you can correct pinion angle. They got Panhard Mounts. I got the spring mounts. They also have, what's missing on mine is the sway bar landing pads. They have all that. So I think I spent about $200 on all these mounts, okay? So the rear end was $200. The mounts were $200. The gear set was like $75. And all the bearings and stuff that were in there were, for the wheel bearings and everything, was like maybe $150. So let me see. I'm trying to do maths. We've got 200 plus 200. I don't know. So I think that I guess the other expense. Let me show you the other thing too. I didn't feel like re-drilling my axles, so I bought hub adapters. These are 2-piece hub adapters. Those were $200. I think really, I'm about $800 into this rear end, right? And it's probably stronger than a Celica Supra rear end, and it's cost me, you know, $800 for like a brand new one essentially, because all the bearings are replaced, everything is fresh. To rebuild the rear end, or the know-how to replace wheel bearings and things, the tools, it's well worth it to buy something other than a Celica Supra rear end or a GTS rear end and rebuild it yourself. Because, I mean, I guess the materials to build a jig, which, there's my jig sitting on the ground, that was like maybe $40, and I built the jig and welded everything up, and it was great. So why would I spend, or why would you spend so much money on a clapped out, loose, beat up rear axle that makes noise when you can spend like a little bit more and have a way stronger rear end with some gearing options and everything else? It just doesn't make sense to me why anybody does that. But I guess I'm not everybody. I mean, I've got a Volvo rear axle and a Corolla that I cut up to put a BEAMS in, that I did a terrible paint job on, and I don't know. So, I mean, there's other people that use truck rear ends, which are great. I guess I used the Volvo rear end because it was cheap, it was available, I knew it was gonna, and I knew that it was gonna hold up to it. So, I guess what I'm trying to get at here is, use what you got available. So that's what was available to me, and it works great. All right. I guess that's all I got for you today. Maybe next week I'll go over some other technical details, or I'll rant about something. I'll be posting another video shortly here that's actually going to be a review of some some Amazon Prime tires, some Westlake tires and stuff that I ran. So keep an eye out for that.